Good morning, students. This is my lecture number 3 for chapter number 5, The Ailing Planet, The Green Movement's Role, written by Nani Palkhiwala. For class 11th, subject English, book Hornbill. Children, I have already delivered 2 lectures of the same chapter in which I taught you the complete chapter from page number 43 to 47. And today in this lecture number 3, I will summarize the whole chapter for your better understanding, and then I will proceed towards the exercise that has been given in your main course book Hornbill. So let's begin with its summary. Children, in lecture number 1 of this chapter, I taught you the start of green movement, our obligations and responsibilities, the world's most dangerous animal, the first Brandt report raised the question, and the principal biological systems of Earth. Before I proceed further with my lecture number 2 explanation, I must explain these points that we covered in our lecture number 1. In lecture number 1, I taught you the writer raises an issue towards the deteriorating health of the earth. As human beings have been exploiting natural resources from decades, presently the condition has made the environment critical. In 1972, the Green Movement helped environmentalists to raise awareness about the harmful condition of the earth, and since then, there has been no looking back as the movement has been successfully educating people about the conservation of the environment. Earth is like a patient whose health is declining, and it's our duty to improve it. In 1987, the term sustainable development was used by the World Commission on Environment and Development. Then, a zoo in Lusaka, Zambia has a cage in which a sign reads, "The world's most dangerous animal," and inside there is a mirror. It gives us a message that human beings are the most dangerous animals. Then, Brand Commission raised a question, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes, and ailing environment? Then, the writer taught us about the 4 biological systems that form the foundation of the global economic system. They are fisheries, grasslands, forests, and croplands. These 4 systems also provide food and raw materials for industries. Except for mining and synthetics, with these systems becoming unsustainable, fisheries will collapse, forests will slowly disappear, grasslands will turn into barren wastelands, and croplands will become worse. Then, in poor countries, forests are being cut down for fuel wood, which is used for cooking purposes. There are some areas where the cost of fuel wood is more than the cost of food. So, it is leading to deforestation at an alarming rate. And children, in lecture number 2, I taught you forests precede mankind and deserts follow. In this, I taught you forests precede mankind because they provide all the resources needed to sustain life. Forests provide food, shelter, material for building, raw material for industries, etc. And the present day situation in India is grim. We are losing forests at the rate of 1.5 acre per second, which means 3.7 million acres a year. These are the government figures, and the actual loss could be 8 times. Loss of forest is causing flood, drought, lack of wood, disappearance of wildlife, and we need to plant forest at least 5 times the rate than we are using them. Then I taught you Article 48A of the Constitution of India. According to this article, the state should try to protect and improve the environment and must protect the forest and wildlife of the country. But The painful fact is that the laws are not followed in India. For example, casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor, they are abolished but still are followed shamelessly in India. Then I taught you about the rate of population growth. The startling fact is that in every 4 days, the world population rises by a million. The effect of uncontrolled population growth is one word, is shortage of natural as well as man-made resources, which will lead to bloody fights among individuals as well as among nations. Then I taught you the side effects of this population growth. When the population increases, that goes towards the shortage of food and water, petrol and other fuels, facilities for education for children, facilities for health care, housing, etc. And all these shortages will lead to the growth of poverty, conflict, moral degradation. So there is an urgent need to control population growth as well. Then I taught you that environment is the passport to future, and the industries are also playing a vital role in preserving the environment. Industries have to exercise restraint about using natural resources. The top officers need to become guardians of the environment, control effluents, place filters on smoke emissions, and take necessary steps. These were the things that I taught you, that how the industries must take steps in order to preserve the environment. Then I taught you at last that the word ailing means sick or not improving, that is our earth. Nani Palkiwala, the author, feels that the current state of our planet earth is like that of a patient whose health is not recovering at all, and the earth is in poor health as its vital systems like forest, water, atmosphere are deteriorating day by day, and all these components of earth need to be revived. And there is still a scope of survival of the ailing planet. It just needs our attention and care, and we should take certain steps for preserving our environment for the future generation. We have to be thoughtful in the usage of natural resources. Environment has to be enriched by replenishment of the four biological systems that were taught in lecture number 1. Then industries should curb their level of pollution. We all need to monitor our activities. Overall, awareness has to be created among all and sundry. Then he taught us that we must use this land as if it is not inherited from our forefathers, but we have borrowed it from our children. It was a very beautiful statement of Margaret Thatcher, in which he has written that our planet he has given a very valid point for our environment. He says it is the responsibility of each generation to use the resources of the earth judicially. Today, air, water, soil, trees, rivers are being consumed or polluted as if there will be no tomorrow. The picture is dismal. The vital systems of the earth are deteriorating due to overuse and pollution, and we need to practice sustainable development, which means development that meets the need of present and preserve the environment for future generation. So it is the utmost duty of every individual to take care of this earth if we want to make it better for our future generation. Now children, we will proceed towards the exercise of this chapter. If you notice in your book, it is given understanding the text, and question number 1 is locate the lines in the text that support the title The Ailing Planet. In this question, you have to tell the lines which support in the text that the planet is ailing. So the lines that support the title The Ailing Planet are: the Earth's vital signs reveal a patient in declining health. This line is given there that supports the title The Ailing Planet. Then second line is: are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and the ailing environment? This is the second line. And the third line given in your textbook is, the environment has deteriorated so badly that it is critical in many of the 88 countries investigated. This is third line. And the fourth line given is, there can be no doubt that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society. These are the four lines that support the title, The Ailing Planet, that you have to write in serial order in your notebook. What does the notice, the world's most dangerous animal, at a cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia signify? The notice, the world's most dangerous animal signifies that human has deteriorated the planet from a long time, that his own survival is under threat now. Because at the cage in the zoo at Lusaka, Zambia, there is a big mirror that shows that human is the most dangerous animal to this planet, and there he signifies that humans have deteriorated the planet from a very long time and the survival is under threat. Now we are proceeding towards question number 3, that is, how are the Earth's principal biological systems being depleted? The answer to this question would be, there are 4 principal biological systems: fisheries, grasslands, forests, and croplands. These 4 systems provide food and raw materials for industries except for minerals and synthetics. These systems have reached an unsustainable point where their productivity has impaired. As a result of it, fisheries are collapsing, deforestation is taking place, grasslands are turning into barren wasteland, and croplands are becoming worse. Overfishing is very common nowadays, where people are becoming protein conscious. In poor countries, the forest is being cut down on a large scale to obtain wood for cooking. In some areas, firewood is most costly than food. Many species are under destruction in tropical forests. So this would be the complete answer of this question, which is similarly given in your textbook. If you have read the chapter, you would have noticed that this question is given as it is there in your textbook also. Children, now we will discuss question number 4. Why does the author aver that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors distorting the future of human society? And the answer to this question can be written, the author avers that the growth of world population is one of the strongest factors behind the distortion of the future of mankind, because overpopulation leads to unemployment, rise in poor health conditions, and ultimately poverty. It deteriorates the environment and the 4 principal biological systems. The richer are getting rich and the poor is birthing more children, which leads to more unemployment. Development is the best contraceptive, which will lead to more employment, rise in health conditions, and improvement in education. It also results in a reduction of fertility rate. We have to choose between population control and keeping up with poverty. So this answer can be written for this question number 4. And now we will proceed towards talking about the text. You see in your book, talking about the text begins with question number 1, that is, discuss laws are never respected nor enforced in India. This was given in your textbook also. According to the Article 48A of the Constitution of India, the state should try to protect and improve the environment and must protect the forest and wildlife of the country. But the painful fact is that laws are not followed in India. For example, casteism, untouchability, and bonded labor are said to be abolished in India, but are still in practice. Over the last 4 decades, India is losing forest at a harmful rate of 3.7 million acres a year as per the reports of Parliament's Estimates Committee. The large area of forest land is now treeless and the actual loss is estimated to be 8 times the rate given by government statistics. This complete answer is given in your textbook where the writer writes about Article 48A. Now we'll discuss question number 2, that is, are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and an ailing environment? The answer to this question would be the above lines were mentioned in the first report of Brand Commission that I taught you in my lecture also. That in Brand Commission it was the question raised by them that are we to leave our successors a scorched planet of advancing deserts, impoverished landscapes and an ailing environment. With the rising scale of distortion of the environment, humans are going to leave a burned planet with arid deserts, poor landscapes, and a poor environment for our future generations. Our earth is like a patient with declining health, and it is not a good sign. Deforestation and overpopulations are some of the reasons behind the deterioration of the earth. We must realize our era of responsibility before it's too late. We must conserve the earth as if we have borrowed it from our future generations. Now the writer has asked us to discuss in question number 3. We have not inherited this earth from our forefathers. We have borrowed it from our children. As I taught you in my lecture that Margaret Thatcher has written this line almost in the end of the chapter. And what will be the answer to this question? From many decades, humans are using the resources of the earth at a very alarming rate without worrying about future generations. Means we people have been overusing the natural resources without thinking about our future generations. Now, the environment has become critical enough that humans must realize the era of responsibility towards it. With quite some time, human perception is changing and the earth is seen as a holistic and ecological view. Earth is seen as a living organism which has its own metabolic and vital needs. We need to protect the resources for future generations. Use of sustainable development, which means meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising with future generations. Thus, the earth's resources should be utilized in a way that does not affect the future, and we must use the resources in the way that our future generation must also enjoy this land with its natural resources as we are enjoying at present. Now we are proceeding towards the last, and question number 4 given in your textbook is discuss the problems of overpopulation that directly affect our everyday life. This is given on the last page of your textbook of this chapter. So you can see there it is written and the answer can be framed from there also. Overpopulation leads to many problems that are affecting mankind and natural resources. It leads to poverty and unemployment. The poor children are forced to live the same lifestyle as their parents did because of lack of resources and facilities. Overpopulation leads to lesser education and low health facilities, which results in more problems like the rise in harmful diseases and fertility rate. The natural resources are being consumed at a very fast rate to fulfill the needs of the population throughout the world. Deforestation is one of the issues where forests are being cut down. All this results in global warming, and if the population is not controlled, it will deplete the environment and the earth. So, population growth is the strongest factor for the destruction of this planet Earth, and it is the utmost important fact for this present day generation to control population. Now we will proceed towards homework. Children, I have discussed total 8 questions in number with you, which are given as a textual exercise in your textbook Hornbill. Now, on the basis of understanding all these questions with their answers, you are supposed to learn and write the answers of all these discussed 8 questions of this chapter, The Ailing Planet, in your fair English notebook. And children, be regular in sending me your homework at daily basis. I keep on waiting, otherwise you people are marked absent from your school. It is better to send your homework regularly to me. Thank you. Have a nice day.